Hello, welcome to my review of Train Life, a railway simulator. It's one of the hardest reviews I've done in a long time, and that's because the game arrived on the Xbox. And I've got to stress it's the Xbox because I've seen other versions like the PS5 that seem to work a lot better than this. Xbox Series X. I don't know about any other versions including the standard Xbox, so it might not be completely true, but it arrived over a week ago now, and it was so broken that you couldn't even really get through the tutorials. I did try, spent a lot of hours, but finally on 29th of September 2022, obviously, there was a patch that arrived and it seemed to make things better. However, it did strip out a major feature of the game to do it, namely the GPS system. And everyone knows what that is, so I won't go into it, what a GPS system is, but it's not in the game anymore. I'm assuming it will be added at some point, but it's just not in it at the moment, and I'll mention in the conclusions at the end of the video what my opinions are, blah de blah de blah. Not, and remember, it's just my opinion. So I'll go to the options straight away. I've got my volume down. This all works better than it did when it was first released last week. I've no idea what air conditioning uphill button does. Minimap orientation. See, it's got a GPS option and a map option. The GPS isn't actually in the game at the moment, so I'll leave it where it is. Minimap mode. Zoom automatic. Now this is a nice change. You can actually see a little yellow box where it's saying, "Are you sure?" Blah de blah de blah. Last week you didn't have that, and some of the boxes you were getting over it in text, etc. But that's now a thing of the past, and that's one of the reasons why the review that I'm doing has taken so long to do, because the game kept crashing and it was just terrible. It was an awful waste of time. These have all changed. Well, I said they've all changed. You've now got another option here under next navigation mode. That wasn't in the game. It was in the PS5 version from the outset. So it's almost like the Xbox, or at least the Series X. They seem to have released like a lower version, like maybe an alpha version or something. I'm not even sure. I've got no idea, because there's no version numbers anywhere in the game like you get on PCs. So if you've played Train Sim World, have a look at these controller settings that I've got. Feel free to pause it, because this is how I've got it set so that it works more or less like Train Sim World, which I'm assuming most people that buy this game will have got that. So that's how I've got it set. Also, last week, pre-patch on the 29th, these controls had conflicts on them, so you couldn't change them easily. Out of the box, you had the A button mapped to two different functions, and it stopped you from being able to save your changes. It really took some working round. I've had help from another Xbox player that I've been in quite close contact with, and he's got the X version. He had exactly the same problems. He seemed to fare better in some ways than others, but it's all a matter of patience. I'll load a game. In fact, no, show you how a new game is set up initially, because it's got some good options. You got your player name, nationality, all these things don't really matter. Company name, company colours. There's a tiny little bug here when you go to customise that. It still wants you to type your name in again, but you can't. All you have to do is reselect customise. Company logo, you just change that. Starting location, the list's huge, the map's huge. It's basically all of Europe. Career options, these are the things that have made it playable for me, because it's not letting me do it because I haven't got a coming in here. I'll just put one in real quick. I'll do. Yeah, I found that this is the invaluable part. Go to customize, and then just press the A button, and then you go in infinite money off. There it says starting funds. I left them at 200,000, but when I got in the game, sometimes I've only got 15,000 or 16,000. It seems to be random. So I think the best way to do it is set it to 197,500, and maybe even go back to 200, and see if that works. If not, you'll have to just reset up the game again. You'll learn what all these do, like your bankruptcy threshold, parts costs. They're simple things. Contract deadlines, they're pretty simple. You can increase the deadlines so it's easier for you. City progression, industry production rate rather. Employees progress when you stopped. You can hire people, but I just haven't got round to it because the game's been so broken. I've not had a chance to do it. Fuel usage, speed limit tolerance. There's a lot to go. Disable fines. One thing I would do is I would disable when I find it, disable all fines, fuel usage, disable events. I'd set that to on, because it's kind of it's back about for me. It says force air events on right track off. What's that supposed to mean? It's like a double negative. Disable events off. Does that mean they're disabled or that they're on? You know what I mean? It's just stupid. It don't make any sense. It should just be disable events, or it shouldn't even say that. It should say events on or off, and it should say AI events, blah blah blah, you know, same sort of thing, either on or off, so it's really clear what option you've got, because it's like a double negative. It's stupid. A lot of games do it, and I don't know why they do. Anyway, when you've done that, just confirm your preset. You just press Y. Now I would get the tutorial just doesn't work. It literally doesn't work, and it strangely, if you want to understand the tutorial, you've got to play the game. I mean, by all means, have a go at the tutorial, but when you play it, you'll see what I mean. It's telling you to do things that you just don't have the option to do, or you seemingly don't have the option to do, and it's because the tutorial's so badly explained that it just fails in every way possible. There isn't one tutorial that's correct, basically. Anyway, that's for later. I'm not going to create the career. I'm just going to back out of it. I'll load a game that I've already got. I've reinstalled the game 3 times as well, by the way, so that's why I don't have any older saves. It only lets you have 3 career saves at a time, but each career save will have multiple save games, which is good. And this game certainly needs it. Every time you go near a station, basically, it saves the game for you. Now this needs an outline around it, because you've got a grey and a white. Now which one have I selected? Because I don't know which it is now. Now I do, because I've got a list with more than one option, and only one of them's white, so you can easily see. But when you go back and you've got 2 options, grey or white, how are you supposed to know which it is? There was lots of that kind of thing in the game, and it's better now. But I'll load this game, and then when we get in the game, you'll be able to see a little bit better how the game actually works and whether you actually fancy buying it. The game at the moment comes with DLC. I bought the DLC version with the Orient Express, and I basically hadn't had the chance to play it because, number one, I found it hard to find, and number two, the game's been so confusing. I couldn't really fathom how to how to drive a steam train. It's quite complicated. It actually looks like it could be interesting, but the game's been such a drama. I just couldn't be bothered with it. just getting it to play standard with the easiest sort of options and the easiest way to play the game has just been a drama. I've had all kinds of derailings at low speed for no reason, crashes to desktop, text over text, sound over sound, all kinds of things. The patch seems to have sorted a lot of that out. But I'll just give a quick illustration why the GPS system is pretty important. Also, one thing that I haven't mentioned yet, it's fully compatible with a mouse and keyboard. So I've got my mouse and my keyboard set up, and the mouse, I haven't switched the mouse on. Now it's on. Look, see how, I mean, you can't do that with a controller. And if you go inside, if I change to go inside the cab, you can now, inside the cab, you can pull these levers. I can actually pull them with a mouse. Oh no, that's gone off now. Or is it because I've got a brake on? Hang on. Oh yeah, I'm actually pulling that with a mouse, backwards and forwards. Now you can't do that in Train Sim World, and it'd be nice if you could, because that's full of bugs as well, or quite a few bugs. I'll just brake again. Yeah, I like that, and plus you can look around the cab, and even the mouse wheel works. The stick's faster. I'm using the stick now to zoom in. There's all kinds of things, perform coupling. That's oh no, I won't even mention that, because it's not going to apply to this part of the game. It'll just add confusion to you. Dead man's button, that's disabled. You got cabin lights, headlights, switch track. I'll come to the air conditioning. I mean, I haven't tried that. It's an option that you have to switch on. I usually play it from the outside view. That's absolutely useless. Why would you have that as a camera view? So these are the views that I normally use, which in Train Sim World I'd be in the train, but this game is a little bit different. Well, it's a lot different. It looks similar, but it's not. So back to that. Now I'm using a keyboard to press map, and it takes some time to come up. In fact, I've got that off as well. Right, now that's keyboard. If you look at the yellow route, it's just a route. It's not particularly, it doesn't say anything about GPS anymore. So what I've got set is I've got a route from Basel, or whatever it's called, in Switzerland, all the way over, going through Zurich Warehouse, through Liechtenstein, Innsbruck, Salzburg, right to Vienna. Now the warehouses are places where you will pick up post, and the main pick up or drop off post, and the main ones where it says like Salzburg main, there you've got to zoom in with the D-pad for some reason. That's where you pick up passengers. Now passengers and freight are treated totally different in this game, and I don't think I'm going to have time to really get into doing freight. It's mainly a review of how the game works, and a lot of people that are going to want to play passengers and freight. I understand that, but I'm just not going to have time to really go over it in any detail, because it's quite convoluted, and I might do a tutorial on it if there's enough interest, but I doubt there will be. I don't get that many views, and it takes a long time to do these videos. And but the main point is this game going to be worth buying for you? That's what you want to know. So having set yourself a route, you then have to proceed to the boarding track. This is strict. There's no passengers on this route that I've set. It's all for mail, for post. So it's telling me, See, I can't even work it out which way to go. I think it's backwards. So I've now set the reverser to backwards. The controls are quite simple compared to Train Sim World, and I don't think the graphics are as good. In fact, I'm sure the graphics aren't as good, the train models aren't as good, and just in general, the way that the train and the simulation works is not anything like as good as Train Sim World. However, there is a very, very interesting game in this, and if you could have Train Sim World graphics, physics, and the way that the trains work married with this game in here, in Train Life Simulator, I'm going wrong way, you'd be on a winner. It'd be brilliant, because this map's brilliant and you can go anywhere you want on it. It's really, really badly let down by the implementation of it. That's the only problem, because you can't just go to a station and decide, I want this, and this. I want 3 passenger cars, 2 post cars, and I'm going to take them to, whatever city, London, King's Cross, Paris, or whatever. It just doesn't work like that. What you've got to do is you set your route, and you've got to have. So I've set route, and I've got 3 postal carriages only fitted on it. So I've now got to go to. Oh no, I am going the right way, because I'm not going to pick up anything. Hang on, I've got to check the map. You see, I shouldn't be struggling like this, should I? I think I've just come from Basel warehouse, so I've got to go to Zurich warehouse. So I'll do that then, because that way you'll get an idea about how this game works. So I have to switch now which way we're going. Yeah, I just find the whole game just totally confusing still. Up to a point, or rather not confusing, it's illogical how it seems to work. Everything about it just is overcomplicated, and it really needs that GPS system, as you'll see as we hopefully progress. I've switched now to passenger boarding track. Now I've switched to Zurich warehouse. Is that right? Yeah. Zurich warehouse is there. If I zoom, you have to use the D-pad. You zoom in, you can go to Zurich warehouse. I now press the X button to open the panel, and it's saying that I haven't got enough carriages on basically to pick up what's there. But it doesn't matter. It's irrelevant for this review. But this is how you do it. You have to find out what's at what station before you get to it, and you can't just decide to pick up post for Amsterdam or whatever. You'd have to have that selected on your map. I'd have to go to the map. This is just an example for it. I'd have to go to the map and go to Amsterdam, which should be somewhere there, and then select Amsterdam warehouse to take post there, and then I would stop at whatever the station is that wants it picking up. It's just so strange. So I'm heading to Zurich, and to take post to Amsterdam, I would have to, on the map right now before I get there, or as I arrive, set Amsterdam warehouse as part of my route, and only then will the post for Amsterdam get loaded from Zurich. It's convoluted, stupid, and it doesn't work, and you're forever the wrong way around in your train, if you know what I mean. Quite often you'll have the carriages are the way you want to go, the direction of travel, and then you have to go into your silly little engineer's shop which I'll come to when we get to one, because I could be forever. I could be forever doing this review, and you're not going to want to know it half the time. Yeah, it's very irritating how they've done it. I mean, luckily now, I'll just quickly show you this. I've managed to do 1,364 kilometres, and I've spent 4 hours playing on this save, and it hasn't crashed once. And that's the measure of the that's the measure of the game that I'm saying, oh, I've played it a whole 4 hours and it hasn't crashed. In fact, I've played it nearly 5 hours and it hasn't crashed. That is not a good recommendation for a game, in my opinion. That I'm playing it and I've got 4 hours and it hasn't crashed. Ooh, how thrilling. Shouldn't it be like that anyway? Like, it's telling me to go the wrong way here. It's telling me to go to the... Or was it? Oh, I don't know. It's just totally... yeah. I should have gone the other way. This is what I'm talking about. Now, you've got to manually switch at every set of points you come to, regardless of the route, because it's showing me to go... It's showing me to go multiple ways here. I'll just go back to the map. I want it to go down from where I am there to Basil Smeltery, which is there, but it's giving me Basil Coal Mine, and I've stupidly chosen that route because you just get to the set of points and you can't see enough map. So it's basically a disaster of navigation. You've got to bear in mind, I've been playing this for over a week now. And it's still unfathomable, and it doesn't seem to really work properly. So now I've got to back up. I'm not going to mess about. I'm putting full power on now. I've got a little red marker down there right hand corner telling me that it's damaging my train while I'm doing it. And also, if you use the emergency brake, which is mapped stupidly to the B button, which is something that you use to back out of menus on the Xbox, it damages your train. So I'm applying my brakes fully now, and it's telling me that I'm damaging my train. So it's basically, you've got to be gentle on control. So I'm going to switch ends again. So you see there's a set of points in front of there, and I've got a red one. If you look at the mini-map in the bottom left-hand corner, I've got a red thing that says left. Oh, it's pink. And now I've switched to right, and that's red. But you'll see when I start going, I'm setting the reverser, taking the brakes off. So I should be moving forward now, applying the throttle, and now it's turned to green. That means I'm supposed to go to the right on these points. But that's actually now putting me on the tracks that are going the wrong way. I should be on the right track out of these two tracks that are going in this direction. And you come to many crossovers because the game will throw stupid random events. All of a sudden there'll be a train. It'll tell you that your way is blocked. This is why I've switched all the random events off, because you'd be coming down here, you could be on the right track, the left track, it won't make any difference, but you can see the signage there is saying that I should be on that other track, because the signs are facing towards me, but they're to the right of me. And them signals there, see the signals, they're right biased on the right track there. So now it's selected right for this set of points, and I'm now on the right track. It's telling me my speed limits, and now it's telling me I'm on a bridge zone. Yeah, what am I going to do about that? What's the point? What's the point of telling me I'm on the bridge zone? Speed limit next, yeah, tell me that, but I can see I'm on a bridge, can't I? The graphics, I would say, are basically crap. It looks like it's 2005 in some ways, and also the rendering last week was terrible. They'd be stopping and be crashing, and sorry, I didn't bang the microphone. The draw distance ahead. And the trouble with this view is I get sick of seeing these pantograph wires coming at my face all the time. And you've got to be quick as well, because I've just switched tracks at last second there because we're talking basically and I'm not paying attention. So all I'm doing now is I'm sitting and I'm driving, which is fine in a train, isn't it? Right. But I've got to keep an eye all the time for every set of points that we come across to make sure that I'm going the right way. And I've got to press, all I do is press the Y button to select whichever track I'm supposed to be going. And the GPS system was previously doing that kind of thing for you. Or that's what it appeared to be. But it just didn't work, and they've stripped it out of the game to make it work. But it needs it, and it needs it as well, because it would be dropping your navigation points off the map, and you're forever going for the map and resetting everything. It was such a pain. It's not so bad now, but it does need the GPS back, especially for passenger and postal deliveries. Before you get into, I'll go back to map. Yeah, we're heading for Zurich. I'll get some speed on. I don't care about fines and all that sort of thing. Just want to get this over with. Yeah, regarding the map, it would just the navigation just didn't work on it, and you do need it. Otherwise, you can't pick up the correct passenger. You can't pick up any passengers. So if you pull into a station and you've not got any other stations set, you can't load any passengers at all. And then it'll be up in air, which is the right platform to be on, because sometimes there's 8 different tracks to be on, plus 2 that'll bypass the station. So there could be 10 rows of tracks, and it just wasn't telling you where to go. It's been corrected up to a point. The game is playable, but it's a bit of a pain. But underneath it all, I'm pressing Y button, you see, all the time to change these points constantly. So you're constantly having to refer to your map all the time. We're bypassing that smelter here now. Yeah, you're constantly referring to your map all the time. You'll come to level crossings, and it makes you have to do that, you know, with the thing. And you'd have animals on the track, and you still get the level crossings, but I've turned all the other random events off, and they were just so annoying and just totally unrealistic. It's nice and customizable, I'll give it that, but it just didn't work. It's working now, but only up to a point, not as it should be. So, I mean, while I'm just driving down here, if we've got a fair way to go, I would basically say the friend that I've got that we've kind of been collaborating regarding how the game works, we've both come to a conclusion up till Thursday gone, it was pretty badly broken. But the chap I was speaking to basically says he's uninstalling it until such time as it's playable, because he wants to enjoy playing it, and I want to enjoy playing it. That's why we buy the games. We buy the games to actually enjoy playing them, not to bug test them, not to play test them, not to give feedback to the developers. This game should have arrived, it should have worked, and this isn't the only game that's guilty of it. There's been Farmers Dynasty and all kinds of others, Lumberjack Dynasty. There's 2 Dynasty games there that arrived broken. What a shock. That other Lumberjack game that came out this year arrived broken. There's just like a habit now. Yeah, just put it out. They'll buy it, and then we'll fix it in our own time. Well, here's an idea. You'll keep doing that, and I'll go back to what I used to do when I was on the PC. I'd buy them when they'd been out a year, and they were in the bargain basement bin. And then they'd have all the patches, it'd all be working, and I'd get a game cheap. And you can find that on the Xbox now. There's a lot of games, and they've been out literally months, and they've already got heavily discounted. So you're going to have a better gaming experience, and it's going to be cheaper, because everything's going to be fixed. So I'd recommend, if you're going to buy this, wait till March when there's nothing coming out, and then this will be in a more playable state, and you'll probably actually enjoy playing it. Stick to Train Sim World 3 if you've got Game Pass, because you can play that for nothing. I'm sick of funding these people that just, on these companies that put out broken games and think that's somehow okay because you can't get a refund. It's on Steam, on the PC, you can get a refund really easily, especially, I can't remember what the criteria is. I think it's less than 2 hours play or something like that. But you can just go on there and click your mouse, you get your money back. Try that on Xbox. It ain't happening. And there's dishonest junk like this getting put out. And I say junk because when it arrived, it was unplayable. It's supposed to be a train game, and you couldn't play it. That makes it junk. And it makes it so that I should get a refund because I've paid for something that ain't working. You know, if I buy a telly or anything and it don't work, I've got recourse. You buy out on a digital download or on a disc, you've got a leg to stand on suddenly. You've got no more rights. Microsoft are just taking the... I'm not swearing, but you know what they're taking, and they're doing it constantly. How come they've got refunds on Steam all the time, and Microsoft, massive company, that there's no way you can get one? And they monitor everything you do. They monitor your dashboard. They're throwing advertisements at you constantly, seeing you full like this advert, that advert, and sticking what they want in front of you on your own system that you pay for. And when you come to buy games off them or anything, they won't give you a refund even if it's broken. You will not get a refund out of them. And if you do manage to get one, you can only have one every so often. It's disgusting. And that's not a rant at the developers of this game. The developers of this game shouldn't have put this out in this state. It should have been left until it was ready. I'm sick of playtesting games for these companies. And it's always these... You're going to have to start being wary of these PC ports, because this arrived on Xbox just dead. It just didn't work properly. And it wasn't just me. I've seen the PS5 versions. It was like looking at someone playing a different game. It seemed to work. I'm thinking, mine don't work like that. I was thinking they got some sort of special review copy, or there was some sort of developer's shill. It took some time to dawn on me that it was actually the Xbox version that was so badly broken it just didn't work. And I know I'm going on about it, but I'm just getting utterly fed up of spending money and wanting to play a game and basically being an unpaid playtester with absolutely no recourse, at the mercy of whether the developer decides to patch the game or not. And I just don't think it's good enough, and I think we're getting treated very, very badly as paying customers, and it's time we started voting with our wallets and stopped buying piles of crap and stopped pre-ordering everything, because you're not getting anything. What's the point of pre-ordering something if it's a digital download? Get it on the day. In fact, get it when people have reviewed it, because look how some of these AAA titles... I know I'm going on about this, by the way, but look how some of these AAA titles are turning up. It's disgusting. And they can do it because everyone's online all the time, and everyone insists on pre-ordering it all the time. Oh yeah, I want to play Call of Duty for 20 minutes before it comes out in a month, broken again. I've ranted myself into a coughing fit. I'll have to stop that. You see, I'm on the wrong track now, so choking to death on my rant. I'll just get back to this game now. I've finished ranting. Oh look, use your own. Happy Now here game. I don't get out for it. I'm at a level crossing that I knew about. Don't get anything for it. Don't get any extra points. It's just inconvenience. How far am I from my objective? Oh, not far. The other thing that's been fixed as well, if I come off, I'm off the throttle now. Pre-patch, I mean, this is slowing down quite a lot more than it should, but you're never sure if you're on an incline most of the time. But it does roll more now. There's less track friction than there was pre-patch, so that's working a lot better. Because the fuel consumption, I'll just go back to this. I've used basically 30% of my fuel to get from Well, it's not really very far. I've only done like 200 kilometres, haven't I? It was 1,300 and something, now it's 1,500 and something. And you can see I've got passage and if you look at where the locomotive is, it says SG6, durability, fuel, passenger postage. That's what I've got on board. And I can basically, it's strangely enough, you've got to go to the company tab here, and then, so with left bumper, you go company tab, and now I've got to use the triggers to go to your train, and then select postage, and I'll see what I've got on board and how much time left I've got to deliver it. So Zurich, I've got 6 hours left for that. That's next station. Then there's Bern. Well, maybe I should have gone there. Oh no, Origin's Bern, isn't it? Liechtenstein, Origin's by Basel. Yeah, this sort of thing's really good. You know that they've got this. This is where you can get into your employers, but like I said, I just haven't had the chance. And then you got these skills. This rankles with me. It's very unsimulator like, but I guess it's a game. The train should just be left, like your fuel usage and all that. It should be part of your score. You know how well you've driven the train and how economically you've driven the train. You know, economy versus time, to add like another layer of interest to it. I've got to ask for permission to go into Zurich warehouse, and now when you've got this up, none of the controls work except the emergency one. Request access or you get fined. Now it's telling me to go to the right. I'm gonna have to do some braking. I've got 10% braking on. We're just pleading speed off now. So that was last minute save there. It's directing me to this track. Where do I want to be? Postage unloading track. Oh, it's right here. By the look of it. See, you can't see me. It's very difficult to see before you even get there. It's not these blue things, by the way. Yeah, it's right. It's there, right in front of us now. You won't be able to see it. Oh, I've missed it. See, this is what's wrong. I've played this game enough now to have not made a mistake like that, but I still did, because the game is a pain that I missed them points, and and remember, you're on time here, and I've been extremely generous with myself about the time. You know, I've got it set as part of the options. I get more time to do deliveries because the game is such a convoluted mess, basically. I mean, it's good you can use a mouse and the keyboard, but I'd rather have a game that actually works properly. You know, when it comes out and you've paid full price for it, you actually want it to work, don't you? Or is it me just being weird? You know, oh, fancy buying a game and you actually want it to work. Do you want everything you buy to work, do you? Because I think that's really strange. Yeah, just, can you sell me a broken car for 20 grand? That'd be nice. Yeah, no, I don't want to drive it. I just want to keep getting it fixed. Or I want to look at it parked on my drive. Just, you know, just for the hell of it. Yeah, I'm enjoying that, yeah. That's a good car. So, anyway, I keep ranting off, don't I? Rolling into it, I'll keep speed down a little bit. Don't know if you can see over there, there's a green marker. That's like the engineer's shed. It's just, it's one of them things that they should have done differently in the game, because it's very, very inconvenient and it just soaks time up. So I'll stop here and it'll kind of reload like that. That's how you know that you're in the right place, when it does that little reload there. So now I have to press A to open my doors, System will remain blocked. I'm in a station zone of the speed limit. Oh, I've unlocked some really useful stuff. Yeah. No, I can't bother going through that, I'll be honest with you. Close that. Now it's saying there, departing postage system will... So it's loading postage for all the other places I've got on my GPS, if there's any for it. And now I'll press it again, closing doors, blah de blah de blah, and I've got a little box there, delivery complete, I've gained whatever experience. Now it's got the big box, so I can go to see more details, and it says whatever it says there, whatever money you've got, the totals, the XP, the other little lines, and then it says A, OK, close. So you press A, OK, close, nothing, you've got to press B. So, you know, the silly little things still wrong with this job. I didn't know you could do that. It's giving me different jobs, I don't know why. It doesn't seem to keep detailed. Oh, press wrong button. Let's have a look at my company. It's saying pound earned, yeah, it's employees, change company colours, select modify name and logo, my train. Yeah, it's not really detailed, is it? It's supposed to be some sort of management sim, you see, with the company, and it's giving you level unlocks your skills employee list, but where's me financial sort of spreadsheet? Where's me how much have I spent on fuel and all that kind of stuff, how many miles I've done, you know, the wear and tear of my train. It's just, I've got total company cash made, total mileage, total playtime, percentage of map, but there's no real detailed financial things on it. Oh, pardon me. So now, I don't know if you noticed then, I've got 0 loaded. So if I go to my map, I'm still showing that I've got all this to go to yet. So I'll go back from map and I'll press, I'm opening the doors again. Now it's picking up postage. Why didn't it just do that? You know what I mean? I'd set the route, hadn't I? Now it's making me do it all again. And this is all soaking time. All of it. And now I'm closing the doors, just pressing A, by the way. And now I've got it loaded, so if I go back to my tablet, this is the tablet view, I've got 96 postages out of 150 loaded, and I've still got that I've still got that station to have a look, not station, the little engineering thing to look at for you. This way you do your upgrades. I'll just quickly go to it. You see, when I've finished this review, I won't be playing this. I want to, like my friend, I want to play this when it's perfect, or as close to perfect as it's going to get. I don't want to play it when I've got to mess about like this all the time, because I'm not enjoying it, basically. I bought the game to enjoy it. So my recommendation is that don't buy the game until it's in a bargain bin and it's been patched, because it may have been patched a little bit, but their idea of a patch is stripping out a vital game component. I think they've stabilised a few other things, I'll be honest with you, but essentially it's just not good enough. And with the DLC for the Orient Express, it was £33 sterling. I don't know what it is in euros, I don't care. It's probably the same in dollars, because pound's been devalued, hasn't it? I'll take that front view, or rather back view. Yeah, when we get to this little green arrow down here, It's the entrance to like your engineer's workshop. And last week it come up with a box. It just looked like a DOS batch file. There was no actual text. It was just a string of characters, and it was obviously it's like, it wasn't machine code or anything like that. It was some sort of looked like an auto exec bat file off a PC from DOS years and years and years ago, when you used to have to make boot disks and I'm accelerating. Well, could be going to crash here. Ooh, excitement. Yep, crashed. You've collided with another vehicle. See, I pay a penalty and continue. I've been fined 175,000 for that. The game likes to do that to you. And if you've got the bankruptcy setting on 0, as soon as you go below 0, it's game over, by the way. Now it's saying enter service centre. Now here I can move. It's having to wait to load things as well to go across that menu. And there's these kind of things which I hate in a game. Oh, this rubbish. This is something that I paid. You see this little thing on the dashboard there? That's and that stupid little whatever it is, it's a dragon or something. Yeah, that was part of the DLC. You know, it's like it's beyond belief that I can't believe I paid for that. I thought that hand cart was something you actually got to use. It's just really stupid. And also the Orient Express steam train, and so you've got train direction. This is how you can switch your train from one end of the carriages to the other. And then you've got fuel, fix, refuel. It's all refuel because I crashed the train basically. So this is where you go from cargo mode to passenger and postage mode. And if you go to cargo mode, you've then got to go to a yard to pick stuff up. But I will not have time to do it because this is already running to 47 minutes. And I don't really want to take much longer than this. It might not seem like I'm doing a fair review on this, but I've played it a lot. And it's done nothing but give me trouble, and I haven't enjoyed a single minute of the game. And I think that I can't really speak for the lad that I've been speaking to. All I know is he's had equally bad problems playing it. I just can't say if he's enjoyed it or not. I suspect he hasn't, because he's now uninstalled it until it gets just properly patched. He's going to be playing Paris Dakar Rally, whatever it is, when that comes out next week. And I might join him because this isn't worth playing. You know, you got good things coming on Xbox Game Pass that are better than this, that you don't even have to pay for, like that hard space shipbreaker thing. That was actually quite good. Convoluted, but good in its own way. But it's there for free, isn't it? And you're having to pay for this. I bet Microsoft won't even touch this for Game Pass because it don't work. It just make them look bad. Don't mind selling you it though, do they? I don't think I've got much else to tell you. The game just it doesn't crash. Is all I can at the moment. That's all I can say about it. But I'm having no fun playing it, and I don't know when the next patch will be. I don't think I'll be making any more videos on this because I don't get enough views to warrant the time that I'm doing on it. I don't monetize. I'm not interested in monetizing, but if I'm going to do something, I want at least a few views out of things. Otherwise, I can't be bothered. I can't really think about else to tell you about. Oh, the scenarios. This is where you find your. I'll just show you this real quick. These are different scenarios. I've not tried to do any of them. Locked. I think it might be the video. Yeah, that Nord Pacific. That's a steam train, because it tells you there in the bottom right hand corner. Nord Pacific. Pacific's a class of train. See, the DLC it's basically it's basically locked behind levels here, you know, because these are the ones that you've paid for, and it's level locked. And look at the times, 135 to, that's a 3-hour scenario, that's a 300-minute scenario, and that's a 300-minute scenario. Some of these are 45 to 15 to 20 minutes, 45 to 60 minutes. On a game so unstable, I just wouldn't invest that kind of time in it. It just up until this week, it wasn't even really playable. The patch made it playable, but they stripped out essentials out of the game, and the way that the passengers and postage and the freight is handled is just wrong. I think it needs revamping completely. You can't even play it until you've got the controller set right, and it's almost like whoever did the controller defaults had the controller upside down in their hand when they were doing it, because it just, none of it made any sense. That's all I can say about it. I won't be going back to it. I won't be playing it. By the time it's patched, I'll have totally lost interest in it. For me, when the game comes out, it's got like a 2 or 3 week window when I'm going to be interested in playing it, and that's almost regardless of if it's a game rather than a simulator, like something like Forza. I used to spend a long time playing them. Something you can keep going back to hot lapping, but this is a game like Train Sim World. It's quite limited of what you're doing, and it's quite dry. You know, it's quite a dry game. It can be nice for a change, but it's not something I'd sit playing for hour after hour after hour. And this is more of a game, less of a simulation, but it's messy. And it's not very good, badly implemented, full of bugs at the moment. It may change, but my recommendation is wait for bargain basement and it being patched. Thanks for watching.